I'm 65 years old, and I need to tell you something that still hurts me to this day. Because at 65, I lost everything. Not slowly, not over years. I lost it in one moment. And it happened because of one mistake, one decision. And the worst part is, no one forced me. I did it to myself. Before that mistake, my life was peaceful. I wasn't rich, but I was comfortable. I had a small home, a wife who trusted me, and children who respected me. Comma. Every morning I woke up feeling thankful. At night, I used to sit with my wife, drink tea, and talk about life. I used to think, this is enough. This is happiness. Comma. I thought my life was safe, but I didn't know. I was about to destroy it with my own hands. One day, I met a man. He looked successful, expensive clothes, a shiny watch, a confident smile. He spoke like someone who knew everything. The kind of person you trust instantly, even when you shouldn't. He said, "Sir, you've worked hard your whole life, comma. Now it's time your money works for you." I smiled and said, "I'm too old for risky investments." But he laughed and replied, "This isn't risky. This is guaranteed." And that word, guaranteed, that word was the beginning of my downfall. He started painting a picture. He said, "You can double your money in 6 months. You can retire peacefully. You can travel, comma. You can buy a better home, comma. You can give your family a better life." And slowly, I started imagining it, comma. I imagined my wife smiling in a bigger house. I imagined my children saying, "Dad, you finally did it." And that's when it happened. Greed entered my heart. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind, the kind that whispers, "Just try it once." At first, I invested a small amount, just to test it. A few weeks later, he showed me profit, real profit, numbers on a screen, charts, graphs, everything looked professional. He said, "See, I told you, this is real." And I believed him. That night, I came home excited. I told my wife, "I found a great investment." She looked at me and said, "Please, be careful." But I smiled and said, "Don't worry. I know what I'm doing." Those words, "I know what I'm doing," still haunt me. After the first profit, I invested more, then more, comma. Then I emptied my savings, comma. Every dollar I had saved for years, I handed it over like it meant nothing. And then he said something that destroyed me. He said, "If you invest more right now, you can triple your money." Triple. That word hit my mind like a drug. And I did something stupid. Something I never thought I would do at my age. I borrowed money. Yes, at 65 years old, I borrowed money. I told myself, I'll return it in a few months. It's safe. This is my last chance to grow. But deep inside, I knew the truth. I was gambling. And still, I did it. That was my mistake. Not trusting him, trusting my greed. Then one morning, I woke up and I checked my phone. I opened the investment app and it wouldn't load. I refreshed. Nothing. I tried again. Still nothing. My heart started beating fast. I called him. No answer. I called again. No answer. I checked the website. It was gone. The company was gone. The app was gone. The money was gone. The man was gone. And in that moment, I felt my entire body go cold. My hands started shaking. I couldn't breathe. I whispered, "No, no, no." But it was real. I had lost everything. And the worst part wasn't the money. The worst part was going home. because I had to look at my wife. I walked into the house. She was in the kitchen. She smiled and asked, "How was your day?" I couldn't speak. I just sat down. She looked at my face, and she knew something was wrong. She came closer and said, "What happened?" My eyes filled with tears, and I whispered, "It's gone." She asked, "What is gone?" And I said, "The money, all of it." For a few seconds, she didn't say anything. No screaming, no shouting, just silence. And then she said softly, "Why didn't you listen?" That sentence destroyed me, because disappointment from someone you love hurts more than any punishment. After that, everything changed. My children looked at me differently, not with anger, but with lost respect, and that hurt more than losing money. I stopped going outside. I stopped meeting people because I felt ashamed. I felt like everyone could see my failure. At night, I would sit alone, staring at the wall, thinking, at 65, is my life over? I felt like I had destroyed my family's future. I felt like a burden. I felt like I had no purpose left. But one night, something happened. I looked at my wife sleeping beside me, and I realized something. I was still alive. I still had a family. I still had time. Yes, I lost money, but I didn't lose my life. And I made a decision. I told myself, this mistake will not define me. Because the truth is, we don't lose when we fail. We lose when we stop trying. So if you're watching this, please listen carefully. Never trust someone just because they look successful. Never invest in something you don't understand. And never, ever, risk your family's peace for quick money, because money can be earned again. But trust, once broken, takes years to rebuild. And sometimes, it never comes back. At 65, I lost everything because of one mistake. But today, I'm telling you this story so you don't repeat mine. I'm telling you this story so you don't repeat mine. Because one wrong decision can destroy a lifetime. And if you remember one line from this video, remember this: don't sacrifice your peace for a dream that isn't real.